let's go down the list then, right?
These
are the top 10 Premier League goal scorers. Okay, Alan Shearer's obviously top of the pile, 260 goals. Harry Kane's second with 213. Then Wayne Rooney.
Unbelievable.
Mo Salah or Wayne Rooney?
That's a tough. For me, I'm going Wayne Rooney.
See, taking my bias out of it, I go with Mo Salah. But I have a bit of a different opinion on Wayne Rooney, and I know that myself and Alex Crook stunned Flex with our opinions on him. And listen, I get why everyone likes Wayne. I get why everyone, love Wayne Rooney. Absolutely fantastic. Scored some amazing goals for Manchester United. My issues are more... So, yeah, on the pitch, he was brilliant. My issues are more other things with Wayne Rooney as a Manchester United fan that frustrate me a lot. Because if Wayne Rooney was a professional, a real professional, Wayne Rooney could just about now be retiring. If we're being honest, it's more so. I understand that on the pitch people have their opinions. Maybe I'm a little bit more emotional about Wayne Rooney, but I don't like the way that he treated the club at times. I don't like his behaviour at times. I don't think that he ever took it as seriously as he should have done, in my personal opinion. It was the running joke. What kind of shape is Wayne Rooney going to come back in? After the summer. I think that it's more of a shame, because Wayne Rooney, had he have really taken care of himself, he would have been potentially in those conversations with the Messi, Ronaldo, Rooney. Maybe for some people he was, but I think he really could have been up there. He had that extra gear to go into, and he just simply didn't seem to want to. So for me, when I compare somebody like Mo Salah and maybe more of his professionalism, I would go with him, but I understand that. That's
an interesting take, and to be fair, I respect it as well, especially with who you support. But I think, again, if you're looking at the football,
I get it. He was the poster boy,
Wayne Rooney.
I think
16.
they're different though.
Chelsea scored 7, by the way. And Christopher Nkunku's just scored, so Chelsea's 7-0 up against
second
Noah.
half.
Yeah, they're actually only 2 goals behind Mo Salah now. So carry on, because that's a really interesting chat. Because Wayne Rooney is when you put up like the complete footballer, right? When you're looking at the complete football, I absolutely get your point in terms of from a Manchester United fan's perspective. So from a non-Manchester United fan's perspective, Abbi, Joel, Wayne Rooney or Mo Salah?
An absolute dream, Wayne Rooney. 2004 could be the best player in the world. Could be. He believed it anyway. I mean, when you go back and you look at those clips, he did a pirouette on Mr. Pirouette himself, Zidane. Like, the guts and the confidence, at that young age. And it's not like, he's good because he's young, which is obviously the truth. But he's just good because he's good.
Scary.
He's making prime Makalele look like Joel Beya in a Sunday League match at the age of 37. It was absolutely insane. And you look at him and you're right, Angelina. Some seasons it's like, I'm going to score 30 goals. Next season it's going to be like, I'm not going to score as much goals. But yet he's still winning the league, countless Premier Leagues. So for me, I look at him and I just think, what a beautiful footballer. Beautiful footballer.
Abbi? So you're taking Wayne Rooney over Mo Salah, is that
all day long.
Both unbelievable footballers. Both unbelievable. I do actually get what Andrew's saying about, like, in terms of if we're talking about a footballer as a complete package, as a professional, then you would have to say that Mohamed Salah is a much more.
No, you're saying professional.
Package.
There's a difference.
In terms of all aspects
is
of
that
being.
not part of it, though?
Because it's part of it.
Mohamed Salah is still doing this at 32 years old.
That's cool, but when Wayne Rooney gets the ball from left back position, right, and he sprays it all the way to the right winger, and then a couple runs down,
I think that
he's got it again.
I think they're also different. I think they're different players. I think that Salah is Salah, and Salah does exactly what Salah does, and you know what you're going to get on the tin with him, and he's going to do it, and he is inevitable at it. I think in the same way that Wayne Rooney would do what he did and was also inevitable at it. So I think it just depends on who you would prefer to have in those clutch moments, in those big games. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know who I would pick. I think I would be really sport for choice.
What about hearing this? Rooney. I
think Wayne Rooney is, again, probably one of the best players I've ever watched with my own eyes growing up. And I do, like I mentioned it before about a generational thing. Like all of us will have seen Henry play live. If you go and ask someone from the next generation, they'll probably go Salah in that conversation.
They know nothing.
But they're watching a different generation. The league is totally different. The league is totally different now.
Okay, that's a really good point, right? That's a really good point. We had a little chat outside about Eric Cantona. Okay? So, you saw Eric Cantona in his pomp, and you said to me outside about how he was...
He's the king.
The king, right? Unbelievable footballer. So that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about nostalgia that plays a massive part. When you're growing up, the first footballer that you watch, that you go, wow. No matter how bad they are for the rest of your life, you'll go, yeah, but that one game, that moment or whatever. So when a player is brilliant on a consistent basis, you become desensitized to it a little bit. And I think we are with Mo Salah.
Which is the truth, but then at the same time, that's only because we're comparing it with rough points with Wayne Rooney. We never said that with Thierry Henry. We just know it's Thierry Henry. I think when you look at Eric Cantona, again, I'm not going to act like I watched all of his ball, but I just think it's more from what he's done for Manchester United as a club. You know, what's that? Was it four titles?
4 and 5, wasn't it? 4 and 5 years. Incredible.
The only year he didn't win it was when he wasn't around. You know, so for me, I look and I just think, and for him, it's not that he was just like the greatest footballer around. There was loads of good footballers during that era. But it's the way he carried himself, and for him it was more of a presence thing, and you know, the leadership qualities. And yes, he definitely had skills and he was special, but you know, it's not like he's getting you 30 goals a season. That wasn't his job, but it's just the way he carried himself and what he meant.
Chelsea have got a penalty for an 8th, by the way. Kieran Dewsbury Hall was there was a big melee in the box, and Kunku was down the left-hand side and has cut it back for somebody to try and get there, and then it was between him and Carney Chukwuemeka, who's come on as well, and Dewsbury Hall gets there first and kind of tangles with one of the Noah defenders, so it's a penalty.
I'm mad.
We'll come back to it
because
because
lovely goal.
Ahmad's got 2, Angelina.
Yep.
And he's loving life.
Well,
the knee slide weren't great, but...
No.
Talk us through the goal. We'll see the replay in a second. You can talk us through it, because, this is a really nice moment, and everyone in the studio is happy for Ahmad.
Yeah, exactly. Rude still doesn't look that happy, though. I don't know what he's moaning about.
And
great fashion, though, from Rude. I'll give him that. Very smart.
Yeah, he's got a future, hasn't he? Christopher Nkunku's going to take the penalty, but talk us through this goal.
Yeah, great ball from kind of like the back of the circle.
Oh, you nicked it.
And Ahmad, just robs the ball off the PAOK defender, dribbles it right to the edge of the box, and just fires it into the back of the net.
Little deflection, though. Little deflection, but he deserved it for all the work.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Really nice goal. Yeah, let that foot in Ahmad Diallo.
Great movement from him. Great of him, the way that he battled with the defender to get it. Like you say, it does take a deflection, but into that bottom, I guess, left as we're looking at it corner.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.